Hello guys, another video from my car as every Saturday, and today I want to expand on one of my tweets recently when I retweeted a job description just from Twitter where I noticed the pattern in general Laravel jobs. So I was browsing and reading a lot of job descriptions over the years on Lara jobs, on Upwork, on Twitter, and thing I've noticed there's no such thing as Laravel developer as only Laravel. Most of those job descriptions require something extra significant on top of Laravel. Or in other words, Laravel is kind of one piece, sometimes quite a small piece of the full job responsibility. If we're talking about technical terms, it's usually called a full stack developer. So many more job descriptions and job ads are full stack developer than just Laravel developer, or sometimes it's called Laravel full stack developer. It depends how they phrase it. But generally, you are expected to touch at least some front end these days. It may be pure JavaScript with frameworks. It may be tall stack with Livewire and Alpine. It may be a totally separate front-end project with JavaScript from architectural point of view. It depends on the projects that the company would work with. But it's not only about frameworks and languages. Within the Laravel itself or on top of Laravel, each project would require something extra, something individually unique for that project on top of Laravel on the backend. For example, one project would require you to generate PDF invoices. So you would need to dive deep into how to generate PDFs and invoices specifically, and there are packages for that. In another project, you would need to, for example, send SMS messages with particular provider in some country. In other projects, you may need to implement some payment provider, different provider, for example, Stripe in one project, PayPal in other project, then some local payment provider based on some country or language or stuff like that. So my point is, if you learn Laravel, this is kind of a cherry on top of being a general developer. You need to have a mindset of constantly learning. And whenever starting a new project, it will always feel scary. You will always have something missing in your knowledge, some kind of gap you need to fill in along the way with the project, or consult with senior developers, not necessarily seniors actually, maybe some junior developer on your team has experience with invoices specifically. That's totally possible. And this is what actually is called experience and senior developer. They usually created enough projects to see quite a lot of different things, different tools, different frameworks, and then it's easier for them to adapt, to learn something new, or to come up with better architectural solution. And this is actually one of the typical reasons why developers cannot find jobs or struggle to find jobs. Among the list of requirements for a particular job, they discover that they don't have experience with some tool, with some SMS sending, for example, or payment providers or stuff like that. So the more different projects you create, typically the more it helps your career to find jobs in the future. Or as another tweet said, and I will also link that in the description below, if you are 60% fit to a particular job description, you can already send your CV. No one ever fits 100% of the job descriptions these days because job descriptions are long, they are kind of from alternative reality sometimes. Sometimes they are written not by developers at all. So if you feel you are 60% or more fit, have a courage to send a CV. The worst case is you don't get an answer. But maybe the company will agree to invest in you for you to learn the remaining percent of the things required on that job. So yeah, when learning Laravel, have a mindset that you're not actually a Laravel developer. Laravel will be just one of the tools in your arsenal, which will grow bigger over the years. That's it for this time, and see you guys in other videos.